Hello guys, and welcome to another one of my newbie paints Fortnite videos. It is time, oh yes, it is time to go in and build that storm shield updated for the next defense. And in this video here, we're just going to be going through the building process. Then I'm going to be making a cut so that I have the actual battle split into a different video, because I figure some are going to be interested in how I did the actual defense, and some are going to be interested more in what did I build and what were the thoughts related to that. So here we have it, our lovely small base in Stonewood. And yeah, so we do need to place another amplifier, and this is of course what I have been looking very much forward to, because by a sleight of hand we're gonna get all this stuff here removed. So bear with me as I do a little bit of video magic, so you don't have to wait too long for me to just remove everything here, because it's just like a bit of a service. There we have it. So been hammering, smashing, and we're just going to be removing the anchor point here. Everything should fall apart, and it did. So good times. This here is where we are going to be placing our next amplifier, and I think I said during the last Storm Shield defense build that I wanted to do some like a bit more silly ways to protect the base, especially because if you are on Stonewood, then things are gonna be really easy. So I think we're gonna be making actually an amplifier that has a hole into it this time around. So I'm being creative in the moment here, guys, so bear with me as I do something completely stupid and silly just for the sake of having amazing fun, because I do like that. Yeah, so we can't build here, actually. We can build a straight wall, but we're not gonna do that. I think we're just gonna be going with these corner pylon kind of things, because I think we can pretty safely do a defense with 4 entries directly into our amplifier. Should we do that? I'm thinking closely about whether or not I want to be risking this, actually, since I'm doing it on video. And but you know what, guys, let's just go with the flow on it and make these very nice small pylons, these cornerstones for our amplifier. And of course we're not going to be attacked from the east where we have the actual stone shield. They cannot come from there. They can come from the west, and they can come from the south. So if you are building your amplifier defense, you don't need to really worry too much about those sides. You also don't have flingers and like crazy mist monsters that can sneak you into coming from another direction at this point in the game. So you can pretty casually just build a box around it if you want to, and that is also why I am just taking a little bit of creative freedom here to go completely silly pants in with these things. So I want to go up. I want to make some kind of a tower here, but of course we can't do that since we don't have any anchor point. So I do need to make an anchor point at some place in order for this to be doable. I didn't want that, but I guess we're gonna have to do it anyway. I can just make one here where I know nothing will be attacking us from, so I don't feel like so bad about doing it. So like that. Now we have good anchor points, and they are from a place where nothing is going to be attacking us, and from here we can actually frame in the upper part of the amplifier. And if you're wondering, am I going to be sharing any kind of really amazing mind-blowing strategies in this video here, then I am absolutely not. This is really just a silly, crazy, for the fun build. I'm playing newbie paints, and you can defend Stonewood without building anything at all. You do not need to frame in anything. You can just pull out your soldier and go defense style. I think you can actually even do that in Plankerton without much risk to your stone. Perhaps we're going to be looking at that later. For now, we're just making this here, and I'm probably going to be giving it a roof as well, because we do have lobbers, and then we're going to make the actual defense. The main thought for me about this amplifier is that I know in the complete endgame, the entire attack is going to be coming from the west. So that is the important piece of information related to this amplifier, is the way that I'm going to be placing my things. The way the Stonewood Storm Shield defense system works is that when you have placed all of the amplifiers, then the next one that I'm going to be placing is going to be down from the south, meaning that the only place this amplifier will be attackable from in the future, not this time around, but in the future, is going to be from west. So that is where I want to have my main focus, and that is also where I'm going to be extending my defenses to when we get a little bit further into the series. Right now, what I want to do is to have a relatively automated setup going for the west and to some degree for the south. So I'm going to like build a roof, a ceiling that should take out most monsters, most husks with the traps I have at my disposal, because they're coming from down there, and that is where they're going to be coming from in the future, and they're going to be coming from down here as well, probably this time and perhaps the next. I'm not entirely sure where and when we're going to be allowed to place another amplifier, but this time around we have two options in terms of where the husk can come from. And I just want to make sure that regardless of whether they take one path or the other, they are going to be welcomed by the traps that we have at our disposal right now. And I'm probably going to be like limiting myself a little bit in regards to going crazy with these, because I haven't evolved or leveled up any traps in the game yet. I have high hopes that I will be able to afford the legendary gas ceiling trap that is in the event store this week. So if I can do all my weekly missions, that will give me the 700 storm shield looking coins, and then I can buy that legendary gas ceiling trap, and it is probably my favorite trap in the entire game because it deals area damage. It afflicts targets so that they take damage over time and not just while they are standing there, and since they are afflicted, it opens up for the entire boost, meaning that all weapons and other options that deal additional damage to afflicted targets will like have a benefit when attacking them. So the affliction thing is, I'm pretty big on that. So we are gonna be seeing monsters, husks come down there, going up. They may also come from up here, but for those that decide to take the path there, we're going to be putting a little bit of a ceiling for them. And the reason why I'm putting all these walls is just to have some type of guiding system for them. I'm not really blocking their path as such, I just want to make sure they stay within range of the afflicting clouds of the traps that I'm going to be placing, and so that when we get a little bit further and probably need to do the last parts of the storm shields here, we can put electric zappers or something on the walls as well, to just go completely automation on these waves of 1,000 husks that are going to be coming. So this here is another entry point, and I'm just again making a bit of guidance system here, making sure that they take the path that is closest to the storm shield, and that is not because I want them to get to the actual storm shield, but just so that I know there is only going to be a single path that I need to actually defend. And I'm just going completely overkill pants with these stairs and extra walls, and I'm not going to be upgrading them this time around. We may want to do that before reaching the last Stonewood storm shield, the 9 and the 10, but I'm not entirely sure. So we have I picked this one up. So as you can see, I don't really have a lot of resources, I don't really have a lot of traps to work with, but we do have relatively small waves incoming, and these ceiling zappers, it is extremely important that you understand that the ceiling zapper is a one target trap. Oh yeah, I forgot to install that. It is not one square, it is one husk only that it attacks. So if you place these in the end of your defense system where the very tough husks have a chance of coming, and I'm thinking smashers here, then they are going to deal a high amount of damage to that one target. But if you have them at the start of your defense, they're just going to zap the first things that arrive, and these are probably going to be the small mini husks. And you don't really want to deal your single target high damage to those. So if you want to use those, keep them as close to your objective as possible. So I did stash up some things that I'm just going to go in here and pick up, because I believe that we stashed up some traps in the storage. Yes, we did. And they are of course going to be placed, I think, every single one of them, so that we can just go completely overkill in on this newbie thing. Side note is that we have made a bit of an entry for the husks coming from the south here, but they can actually choose another path that I want to remember to wall in as well. So for everything that is going to be coming here, they're just getting these gas traps. I could block this path so that they only come from here. I should probably have done that, but for now, given that I have so bad traps, they're only power level 10, I don't really mind spreading out the husks over 2 paths because they have a pretty slow reload time and a very low durability. So in order to make sure that the traps are working as often as possible and don't run out of their charges, I think it is okay to split up the husks over multiple paths. So it is not because I don't know that I can block one of them, it is completely intentional that I am leaving the 2 options here so that I feel as safe as possible for working with these very, very bad traps that I have to work with right now. So this here is what I really wanted to remember. If they're going to be spawning from this area here down by that amplifier and they're going to come up here, there is a chance they're going to go this way here. It is a very small chance, but it is a very cheap thing to avoid by just placing a few walls. And once again, I'm going to go with stairs and a layer of walls just to give them a bit of a convincing that this is a bad way for them to go in terms of spending their time. They should select the fast way and go directly where my traps are so that they can just die instead. As you can see, I have very little here, actually nothing on the floor. Again, this is something we can choose to work with. Right now, I feel I want to try to avoid having things on the floor as well, because when I need to clean up all this, I do not know why the game doesn't have a reset storm shield option where you can just nuke your own base. It should be so easy for them to make. But no, they are kind of forcing us to just take our pickaxe and smash every single thing down. And having completed most of the storm shields on my main account, I can tell you that we're talking hours of hardcore smashing things in your own base when you have 3 tiers, metal plates everywhere, making crazy huge defenses, and you want to be removing them again. It is mind-blowing silly, but yeah, it is what it is. So final defense up here for probably in case we get huskies. They should be taken out by this here, but I guess we won't really know before actually enabling or activating and starting the attack. I'm just gonna upgrade now. Why do I want to do that? Yeah, you know what, we're just gonna do it for the plat. Oh yeah. This is again completely overkill. I do believe honestly that you can defend Stonewood without placing a single trap, but the way I wanted to go with this video series here for Stonewood was to make defenses that are automated, the completely relax and just wait while the base defends itself kind of defenses. And as we move deeper into the game, I may want to make some defense options where you need to play the game a bit more actively, but in order to like have this easing into the game, the super casual start, and also like a bit of an introduction to kill tunnels and how you can nudge these husks to select different paths, I'm going with this completely overkill system of the defense here. And again, I'm going with unupgraded traps, and some things I've been picking up, some things I'm just making with the schematics that I have gotten in the game as rewards and stuff like that. So they are, as you can see here, power level 5 wooden floor spikes, like completely horrible, useless. The husks are going to be spawning down here, and we can't really place anything on the ground here because then it is going to be destroyed when they spawn, when the tentacles come up, but we can give them a bit of a welcome. And I know that I am overlapping these wall darts much more than I actually need to do. They have a pretty wide trigger area and they hit for a very long path, but this is just to make a defense based on the guaranteed the things that I've gotten in the game. So I could make a much better defense than this. I could take stuff from my main account as well that would make it super casual. I could probably just put two traps in there with with gas, and then they could do everything for me. But for now, we're going to be working out with this stuff here. And since we now have defenders, we are going to be working with those as well. Just putting them down there. I want to try to get more into the habit of actually using these defenders. So as a last line of defense, we're going to have our defenders down here. Oh yes, we are. So just building a little bit more here that we can work with, because the defense down here is close to horrible. It has been more a blockade than anything else, so I think that we're just going to open this up so that the husks can come up to the defenders and be beaten up there, and as they walk towards this area they're gonna get shot by these wall dots. So it is just to clear things a little bit up without making again an actual defense, because we have an amplifier right around the corner that we need to place there. So I don't want to do too much. The only reason why I upgraded these metal parts is in case we're going to be seeing, they're not called propaners, they're called something else and I forgot it now. Wow, that is kind of embarrassing. The propane flask carrying husks, the sploders? Was it sploders? I don't know, I'm gonna have to check that out in another video. But in case we see those, I don't want them to blow up everything and just, you know, clear it out because a defender shoots the propane flask, so we don't want that stuff happening. Regardless, guys, that was pretty much what I had to share in this video here, where we have been building our defenses for this storm shield defense. Coming up next is of course going to be the actual defense. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. That was, I'm just checking if I want to do more than just make a backup pad here for the last one. And yeah, with that said and done, guys, let's just get it down before I say it. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.